road trip, and we'll get the most out of it. And hopefully the basketball piece will grow as we go. And it's a great opportunity to play 6 games in a row on the road. So looking forward to it. Got any questions, let me know.
Hey, Coach. So looking back on these past 2 games, looking back on the film, what are some big takeaways that you can take from this team, especially road trip first with you starting with UCF on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think the first thing is probably the 5 or 6 days on the road between our exhibition and the Indiana State game. I think that probably gave us a good beginning indicator of how to handle ourselves as we travel. Sleep and food and peaking at the right time as you play and not exhausting yourself is really important. I thought the guys were incredibly mature. And then the other thing that probably stood out is just the fact that we had 4 different guys do the press conference after the game, and we've had 7 or 8 different guys in double figures. So the depth and the willingness to share has been a really positive thing. And then I thought defensively there was some growth. Our defense efficiency numbers are better than I thought they'd be at this point. So we still got to grow there, and I think each of the next 3 teams cause some wrinkles for us that'll really test our defense. But those 3 things we're pleased with, and then from this point on, I just think it's taking it a day at a time.
My turn.
What would you say? Hey, Coach, by the way, how's it going? Pretty good. So what would you say your thoughts are on UCF, and was there anything you saw on film maybe that Purdue-Fort Wayne did that led to their, I think it was 2 for 20 from downtown? Is that something you guys maybe try to target?
Well, first I would say UCF's really good right now. I mean, to go 2-0, A&M was 13th in the country. That win's no joke. And then I think the other thing is you can look at a stat sheet and point out one negative thing. I don't expect them to ever go 2 of 20 again from 3. They got really good guard play. I think they'll make shots. And then I thought it was a sign of their maturity. When they knew something wasn't going right, they fixed it by getting to the free throw line. They shot over 30 free throws in both games. And then their free throw margin against their opponents was something that is a really positive thing. So we're going to have to play defense without fouling. Obviously, we'll contest the 3-point shooters, but I think the second chance points and then the free throw line are 2 things we've got to make sure we end up on the right side of.
And with a guard like Jordan Ivy Curry, he's had a pretty good success in the first 2 games. Is there anything you guys look to do to try to limit him defensively?
I mean, both the guards are really good. I think they're going to have big games throughout the year. I thought Johnson made huge plays down the stretch in the last 2 games. And then Ivy, I know FAU fans know a little bit because he had 34 against them last year. And so as he transfers, I'm sure people know who he is. We definitely know who he is. They're both on the scouting report on the front page. And we'll have plans for each guy as far as how we guard him in handoffs and ball screens and make little adjustments. But at the end of the day, they both can get their own shot one-on-one. So our guys are going to have to lock in after we get through the set and then be able to contain them and keep them out of the paint.
My turn? Okay. Looking at the stats, Coach, you guys are 15th in the nation in bench scoring. I know it's early, but can you talk a little bit about that? I know that one of the things that you mentioned a number of times in a few of your pressers has been your strategy of having guys that perform a certain role and that there's not a drop-off when you bring in your second group. How important is that going to be for tomorrow night in particular?
Yeah, I think we want to get to the point where we have 8 or 9 starters and that the guys view themselves that way. And I don't want who starts to impact how they view themselves or the confidence it is when they shoot the basketball. And then I've said early on that our goal is to get to the point by the time we get to league play that we can lead the league in bench points. And you can't control things like foul trouble and injuries. And so to go all in on 5 guys would be foolish and I think short-sighted. And then on top of that, I just think the assistants did a good job. Our depth offensively is really good. There's really not a reason for us to view it in a positive light. And then instead of trying to get a guy a ball, I think we try to pick on certain things. So whether it's a mismatch or a ball screen coverage, we use different guys in different ways. So different guys will have certain nights. But for the most part, we're thrilled with that. We want to keep that going, and that'll continue to be a focus.
Coach, How's the overall health of the team looking? We know that Max Langenfeld made his debut on Friday. How's everybody else looking heading into Tuesday night?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think everybody's healthy. We're still monitoring Max day to day as far as how he reacts to that knee brace. It's one thing to play; it's another thing to play with the brace on your leg. And then, we did this press conference, and then between the press conference and the game, something happened to Trey and Nico for the Auburn game. But right now, everything is healthy. We're thankful for that. We should be okay tomorrow night.
Also, through 2 games so far, you guys have the second fastest average of possession, only behind SMU. Is that a sign that, the guys really are, flowing into this offense right away, finding that shot quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good sign. I think there's going to be people that get back on D and then force us to have to execute other things. And we've got to have 2 plans, because when the first plan doesn't work, you still need something to work. And then I think when you watch us, there can be this spurtability where all of a sudden, really quick, we'll put a bunch of points together. And I would say our spurtability is better than our consistency right now. So at portions, the way we flow into things is exactly what we're looking for. And then at other portions, I think we can stall ourselves or get stuck. So we're going to keep tinkering with that balance, but we're going to try to run, and we need to be opportunistic when we run. UCF's half-court defense is really good. That young kid, Diem, as a shot blocker, really protects the rim. There's going to be moments you've got to score before the defense is set up, but none of that happens if we don't get stops. But certainly we're going to try to play fast when the opportunity presents itself.
Coach, I just wanted to mention one quick thing. They did get some votes in the AP Top 25 this week, UCF, and I know that you had mentioned a couple times previously the resume impact. Can you just give kind of a one-liner on the importance of what a win would do for you tomorrow?
Yeah, no wins are guaranteed. They're really good. I think that when we scheduled them, we felt like they'd be a quad 1 win, and they're trending right there. And that win at Texas A&M at home, along with the 15 to 20 quad 1 chances they're going to get in the Big 12 alone, is going to put them in a really good position to be a tournament team. I don't think that's out of the realm for them. I think they did a good job building their roster, and they've even got 2 guys that I think will be contributors that are out right now with injury. So their upside throughout the season is even more than they've shown up to this point. So any chance at a quad 1 win when you're in our position is a real gift. We need to be humble about the way we address that, but we think UCF is of that quality for sure.
It seems like Caleb Glenn has really found his role so far off the bench with his energy and everything that goes into his game. When you have a player like that who comes from a program who had a rough year and he's a young guy, is there anything confidence-wise that you guys had to work with, or has he just really excelled from where you guys are at?
I mean, some of it is confidence, but he was a top 50 kid coming out of high school. His high school career at La Lu in Indiana, which is a prep school and one of the best in the country. He was a fantastic player. And I mean, most freshmen go through ups and downs. You can see it, whether they're on winning teams or losing teams. There's moments of doubt, and I know everybody wants it to go perfect, but things in this sport don't always go perfect. But I would say the one thing you said is our positivity has probably helped him. The teaching has probably helped him. I think the assistants that have worked on his player development has helped him. But he's been a surprise. His mental toughness and fortitude, I think that comes from him and his parents. That's less to do with us and more to do with us getting lucky in the portal. And when we look at Caleb right now, I think that we look and we feel like we got a top 50 high school recruit just on a second chance. And then that his mental strength and his three-point shot are significantly better than we had hoped for. So we're really thankful for him, and we expect more things in the future for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I guess we're getting kicked off. Bye, Genesis.